What's up and welcome, BitLab Insiders. BitLab daily streams here on the BitLab Academy YouTube stream every day, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to get this going. We got a great show lined up for today. My name is Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the show. We've got some great signals that we're going to be going over, everything from traditional economic sense to what's going on in BitLab, in Bitcoin. I'm all in the BitLab right now because we're doing a huge giveaway today, but more about that in a second. Again, my name's Kelly Kellum. We are going to be doing the giveaway as well as showing a lot of incredible signals that are brewing, setting up for some just magic here in the space. If this is your first time, welcome to the stream. If you've been here before, give a thumbs up emoji if this is your first time here. Give any other emoji if you've been here before. Welcome to the stream. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ting that bell. We're going to get this going. We've got some great things that's going on in the charts right now that are setting up. We want to see these signals that were showing that bullish movement. So a lot of these have been resetting along with some other traditional sort of signals of momentum and interest and sentiment, all brewing for something that's going to be excellent here on Bitcoin and crypto and with what's going on in the market. As you can tell, I am buzzing this morning. I had a donut and I've been rocking this chocolate milk, and it's a little too much sugar, to be honest, but we've got some great things going. We're doing the 5 lifetime membership giveaways for the BitLab Academy courses, and this is such a perfect time for you all to be getting this huge prizes because we've got, you don't even understand how much we're bringing to BitLab. These new updates, new website, 25 plus new courses, 200 plus new lessons, breaking down everything. We do all these new courses and lessons in this amazing studio, broken down so they're not 45-minute videos. They're broken up into each subject. But let's go ahead and jump in. Again, my name's Kelly Kellum. Thank you so much for being here with us. I think we should get this going. How's everybody doing? Shout out to chat. Mitch Shaw, I see you in here. Alex Green, Matt C. I got my ride or die folks in here. It's wonderful to see this community being built. And if you haven't noticed, anybody, if you've been here several times or if this is your first, the whole mission here is to bridge that gap from beginner to pro. So whether this is your first time looking at charts and having no idea what people are saying on these crypto YouTube channels, or you're a pro, either way, we're going to bridge that gap. We're going to be breaking things down very understandably. In addition to that, if there are things I talk about that you don't understand what I'm saying, go ahead and head over to the BitLab Academy YouTube page, and I'll pull that up here in just a moment because on this page, you can see if you go into the live streams, and I'm going to pull this up right here, you can see in this live area and also playlist, but you could just, a lot of these early videos, and I'm actually, at the end of this stream, I'm going to be separating these out into their own playlists about what sort of topics they're covering. They're very sort of rudimentary. We talk about some big advanced concepts, but we break it down understanding exactly what support and resistance are, what the hell is a Fibonacci and why do we use it, a great guide for TA tips and tricks and charting. I'm even about to release over the weekend 2 more videos of some of these things broken down rather than it being an hour live stream, broken down in about 10-12 minute videos, so that get straight to the point about understanding how you find those points of confluence, 1, 2, 3, 4 points of agreement, so you can make those profitable trades, whether it's long or short, taker profits or stop losses, as well as breaking down exactly how to go through and chart like a boss. Just go in there, quick keys, not having to, being lost on the screen. You're trying to do simple TA, but you're getting stuck in the weeds trying to figure out how the heck to even pull up that specific tool or indicator that you see other people use. So, without any further ado, before we jump in, I do again want to say hit that like button. Let's drive those likes up to a new all-time high. Let's ting that bell, hit that subscribe. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. Alrighty. It is January 27th, 2023. And don't fret, no matter when you watch this, whether it's today or 6 months from now, it doesn't matter. These streams are meant to use the signals that are in the market today, what's going on, the data that we see, and what's the process that we can use to take that data and then attack the market profitably and consistently over time. So again, I want you to make sure you're following all these correct socials right down here, and my Twitter as well is that handle that you see right there under my name, @Kelly Kellum. and we're going to jump right into the charts and right onto my screen. Make sure you're following. This is a BitLab Twitter page here. Make sure you follow my Twitter page as well. I post so much great stuff. I'm even doing I usually do these Thursdays, but I have a podcast I do once a week, and we're going to do it later this afternoon. We have some of the best minds in crypto talking about everything going on and how the heck we can use all this different data and skills to master the charts, master our strategies. So it looks like everything's good. I'm going to drag that just a little bit. There we go. Now it's fitting perfectly. All right, if you guys haven't noticed, as we're moving along here, we can see up here at the very top of the screen, we have this price action bar that we can always sort of keep track of what's going on in the markets. If we are talking about something else or not looking directly at the charts, you can always peek up there and see exactly what's going on. But we got a lot to talk about today. So how's everybody feeling? How you doing? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? What is the most recent coin that you added to your stack, whether it's a first-time purchase or a DCA? Let me know. These communities here on YouTube, on Discord, on Twitter, being able to communicate and share our thoughts and feelings and knowledge with not only me to you all, but you all to me. You know how many times I've been put onto something, or something was highlighted in my sort of on my horizon, brought up by somebody here in chat or in Discord or any of these other sort of places. This is we're meant to share our knowledge and share our experience so we can all grow. So somebody wrote in there, WAGI. That's right. We're all going to make it. If you're here towards the end of this bear run, I can't say that we're in a bull run yet, but man, it's brewing. If you're here, you are going to make it because you're sharpening that sword. So what the heck are we talking about today? Well, the thumbnail that we got today, the signals that are brewing for a breakout. Well, what am I talking about here? Go ahead. It seems like I'm not getting any errors. All the audio, video, everything's working. If there is ever any issue, let me know. Keeping an eye on the chat right here on the right. But we're going to dive in and go through some of these sort of general data points, and then we're going to dive right into the charts. And then throughout the stream, I think maybe 3 times throughout the stream, we're going to pause. We're going to do one of those massive giveaways, and we're going to we really want to just bring you guys all the data. Before we do go any further, though, I do want to make sure that you head over at some point to BitLab Academy. And you see this changed. It was 5 winners. Well, we're picking those winners today. In order to be part of that giveaway, all you had to do is here on this pop-up that's on the BitLab Academy page, put in your email address, and you're not just being entered to win something. No, you're getting free weekly alpha. You're getting charts and setups and discounts and giveaways, early access to all these updates that are coming to BitLab. So make sure to go over here and sign up for this newsletter because, we're putting a lot of work into this and trying to make sure we're bringing you the data you need while also keeping you up to date with what's going on with BitLab. In fact, we even have a discount going on right now, which is Bullish 15, BULLISH 15. That gives you 15% off everything in BitLab, whether it's indicators or the courses. So let's go ahead and move on through this. I do also want to shout out down in the description. There's a link for the Discord, which you will see. And I can click on this right here. We can go scroll down. If we go here to show more, you can see right here there is a Discord that you can join. That's also part of BitLab Academy. But even if you're not a member, there is a free area in there where you can get a lot of free alpha. So let's go ahead and close this out. I'm actually going to put this down to lower quality so it doesn't eat my feed. And we are going to continue on here. All righty. What's going on in the charts? Well, let's start with the market watch, because there's something that we need to be aware of. As bullish as things are right now, there is a huge shadow, a huge clouds over our head right now, still waiting on what's going to happen with the FOMC, with the Fed, with Jerome Powell. And that comes out, let's see. All we have to do is come here to marketwatch.com. If you actually, I'm going to show you how to find this page. If you come to marketwatch.com, and you come up, we're not sponsored by them or anything. This is just great free alpha. Come over here to economy. And then once you're on economy, you can go down to economic calendar right here, U.S. economic calendar. And then you can see all the important data reports that get put out by different, different sectors of the market, whether it's inflation reports, personal consumption expenditure, capital, all the data that we need, that also the FOMC and the Fed is looking at to determine these interest rates, which has a knockdown domino effect on what happens with traditional markets. And therefore, Bitcoin is part of the global marketplace. And so we need to be aware of these, because although this is talking about traditional market thought, considered stuff, Bitcoin is part of that global market. So all this affects what's going on. So scrolling down here, we can see on February 1st, next week, which is Wednesday, hump day, baby, we have the federal funds rate at 2 p.m., federal funds projection, as well as, this is a big one, here at 2:30. At 2 o'clock, we're going to be getting the idea about exactly what that next interest rate hike is going to be. Is it going to be 25 basis points, which is 0.25, basically a 0.25%, which would take us up to, I think, about 4.5% total of our federal rates, which impacts what happens with traditional markets, because that's the rate that is preceding what lending rates are for any other bank organization or institution. So whatever interest rates they're charging their customers, they are basing off first that federal funds rate. So this has a huge impact, and this is what they're trying to do to bring down inflation. So this is happening February 1st. So there's a lot of bullishness brewing, but there's still things we need to be watching out for. Now, in addition to this, and I think it's all the way over here, I'm going to slide this over here. In addition to this, we can also see the earnings calendar. Why do I care about this? When, for me, I'll tell you straight up, I don't want to say 100% because I still have about $150 in my checking account. Why do I only have $150 in my checking account? Because I believe beyond conviction in crypto. And I'm not saying that's what you should do, but this is me. I am so deep in crypto and moving money between the markets within crypto and Bitcoin and stable coins. It's not always fully allocated to an asset. Sometimes it's allocated to my USDT or USDC dry powder so I can redeploy it when I want to into the market. But I'm still paying attention to these earnings calendars, this market watch with the FOMC, because this has a direct impact on what's happening in the markets. And we can see, I think this is, what day is this? This is Wednesday, February 1st, same day as FOMC. We've got Meta. I still can't call them that, but Facebook essentially is doing their earnings, massive sort of gauge of what's happening with the market there, partially at least because it's a major tech institution. We also have Sony, we have T-Mobile. I mean, look at all these, Mitsubishi, Humana, Boston Scientific, so much. That's just the same day as FOMC. Then we got the next day, then we have Apple. We have Google, which is Alphabet. We have Amazon the next day. That's Thursday next week. We got, I think Pfizer's in here somewhere. Maybe it's the next day. Qualcomm, ConocoPhillips. I mean, there's so much. Starbucks, Honeywell. All these are going to have, this is going to be a real gauge about where our economy is and what's going on, because we're getting a broad range of tech sector, gas, retail. All these things can really give us great insight as to where the market is, because we can see where people are spending money, where institutions are making money, where they're cutting back. And then, okay, we see then here Friday next week, Friday the 3rd, we've got, a bunch of, this is just a lot more banks, a lot of infrastructure. There's just so much going on with the markets. So what I'm trying to point out here is as gung-ho as you can be about Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto, Cardano, whatever it is, whatever fits your trading and investing sort of strategy. All this data is important for you to understand. Maybe right now there's a bullish signal. Maybe we're going to see it today. Maybe I'll show you signals that play out perfectly and we get a massive pump. Well, that doesn't discount the fact that we have all this data that could absolutely second guess the market and make the market pull back, because we're not out of the woods until we form that higher high, followed by a pullback, which we have not gotten, and establish a true higher low. And we're going to talk about that in the markets here in a second. But continuing on, moving here very quickly, I just want to show you here, large trader call buying. So this is representative of how bullish how the bullish buy guys are in the market. And look how low this is right here. Historically low levels, and look at about where these previous low levels were as it relates to where the market is, as we can see right here. I apologize for that. We can see right here that this historical low, meaning people, the bullish sentiment is basically at a point where it's trying to roll over because it was incredibly bearish. So this bearish sentiment is waning, and it's so low that at some point there's got to find a bottom. It doesn't mean it has to happen today, but we're at these levels that have shown price reversals in price on these, and this is a traditional market here that we're looking at. Now, looking at the next page, we can see right here, we can see with the stablecoin supply ratio. Now, why am I looking at this? Well, I'm looking at this because this is exactly what I was talking about a second ago. I might be fully vested psychologically in crypto, but I might have zero money in the crypto market in that where I don't have actually holding any Bitcoin, crypto, etc. But a lot of people that are made that transition to start investing in crypto like to keep their crypto assets still within that sector. So what you will see is that historically, when this price gets, basically it's a supply ratio showing when there's money moving into stablecoins and out of crypto, or out of crypto and into stablecoins. So if everybody's trying to protect themselves and sell, basically take profits here or any leg of this downward journey, as we can see right here, then what happens is we're getting this high amount of stable coins being deployed, meaning that the market is preparing for those assets to come out of crypto, and then it oscillates back and forth. So we can see each time the stablecoin supply ratio increases, then we can also see the price has an upward price movement right here. And look at this. This is front running this large move, because we can also see right here in this massive downtrend that we had in May of 2021, this massive downtrend, we start seeing almost immediately after that huge uptick in stablecoin, the SSR. Now, moving over here to this next chart, we can also see the higher this indicator is, the more selling pressure in the market. And we're among the lowest level ever seen. As you can see, this is from Game of Trades. You should definitely follow this individual. Great institution, actually. I think it's a group, a company, but they put out great charts. Game of Trades _ on Twitter. And it's among the lowest we've ever seen. Selling pressure is exhausted. These are the signals that we want to see. We want to see, okay, I'm talking about Bitcoin and crypto, but we're looking at traditional markets. But there's so much institutional money that's already involved in crypto, and people are getting wise to the data that's available to them. Even people that have never been involved in crypto, never been involved in investing. The more they get involved, I'm one of these cases. The more I got involved, the more I just dug into the data of traditional markets so that I could find my edge. Now, let's talk about that for a second. What is an edge? An edge in trading, an edge in investing is utilizing the data that's available to you in a creative way, meaning that, so maybe I'm using on-chain data for Bitcoin, but I'm also looking at signals from the traditional markets. As we can see right here, we can see this risk-on, risk-off mentality, this exuberant buyer or exuberant seller mentality, because in the traditional markets, this sentiment does also spill over to the crypto asset class. So we need to pay attention to this stuff. And look at this previous sort of pullbacks and bearish trends into launching of the next massive bull trend. And again, this is a traditional market chart that we're looking at, but this is going to play out similarly in signaling some alpha into our crypto assets. And we can see right here, massive, basically huge pessimism. Essentially, we get super pessimistic. It's that fear and greed index mixed with the ratio of puts and calls, meaning a betting long or betting short. And this can only go down so low before people take heed of what Warren Buffett says so regularly, and that's, you buy when there's blood on the streets. As dark and as grotesque as that may sound, in order to make money, you can't be a victim of yourself and allow yourself to just be held hostage by your emotions and buying at these market tops because the hype's there. That's when you lose your butt. When everybody says, oh my God, crypto, it's tanking again, it's dead again. That's when you're buying, because that means you start looking, you at least take that signal, that social sentiment, that landscape of fear in the market, And that means that there's capitulation going on, and that means that then you can use that macro, midterm, micro market strategy that I talk so much about. And I'm going to come back over here. I do this every stream. This market cycle trading cheat sheet. You're free to come and steal it off my Twitter if you like. Save it. Study this. This isn't about emotion. This is the action plan at every stage in the market. And what we're trying to identify is the macro cycle. You know, this is a long period over years and months and years. And then also the midterm cycle over weeks and days. And then the micro or the local, which is everything under the daily. So let's say 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, that's all micro. And you can have this macro downtrend with a midterm sort of sideways action, but also a micro or local cycle within the matter of 1 day going up and down in each one of those moves. That's how you get this peak here and the drop. This is this entire cycle playing out on the smaller time frame. So diving back into this, historically low levels. Okay, we got the SSR showing that we got a lot of dry powder that's starting to be deployed into crypto, meaning those buys are starting to happen, meaning the sentiment is starting to turn in favor of the bulls, because the smartest money buys. It's the smartest money and some lucky money, but the smartest money starts buying when everybody's fearful because they're seeing this data and they're starting to slowly. They don't go all in because they think it's a bottom. No, they pick a region. Gareth Soloway says it perfectly. You pick a region, and below that level, you start setting up your ladder entries. What is a ladder? A ladder entry is rather than going all in, this drop, so you go all in here, and then you're frustrated because it fell further. No, if this was your target, this $21,000, $22,000 level, then anything below that target, you can map out based on previous price action. As you can see here, I basically mapped out my chart. I can look at this level, and then I can pick my levels below that where I ladder an entry where I'm going to do a purchase there, I'm going to do a DCA there, and I'm going to do a DCA here, and then I'm splitting my entries over a period of time. So in case it does drop, I'm lowering my average entry. Now the thing is, if this was the bottom and the price went up from here, well, what doesn't happen in markets? Markets do not go straight up in a line. It just doesn't happen. What happens if this is where your entry was and it starts pushing up, then you can also see this trend line that's right here, this gray trend line, and you can also see this massive long-term downtrend line that you can start to either add to shorts at these positions or wait for this rejection and to come down to retest this local area here, where you previously bought, and depending on that weakness, then you can add more to your positions at lower levels. You can wait. This is a key thing here. You can wait for the market to come to you. You can be patient. For you to be profitable, you have to have a plan and you have to be patient. Otherwise, this market and everybody in it is going to eat you alive because they're going to play on your emotions. So jumping back in here, where are we at? We got the stablecoin supply ratio. We got the basically the exposure sentiment here, pessimism territory rolling over. Now we've also got, look at this, percent futures open interest crypto margin. What the heck does this mean? Well, this is why crypto Twitter is so phenomenal, as well as sites like lookintobitcoin.com, which we went over yesterday, but I'll bring it up again for you right here. Lookintobitcoin.com. You can come over here. You can pull up. It doesn't matter. Let's go to realized cap hodl waves. Okay, when you look at these other charts on Twitter or in a news article, you can go to sites like this or even Google it. Google is an amazing tool you can utilize, and scroll down and look at that. You got a complete description of exactly what it means and why. So you can reference these things back and forth so you can learn. And of course, you can also take a super shortcut and go become a member of BitLab Academy, where we break all this stuff down from beginner to pro, every step of the way, trading strategies, definitions, basic understanding, all of it. Doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. We've got something for you there at BitLab Academy. Now you can see here, what does this mean? Well, the other benefit of crypto Twitter is these folks, not everybody, but most people that are sharing these various charts, they tend to put some sort of explanation of what they're seeing here. Now, you can't take everything like it is an absolute gospel, like it is the word. But the skill here when doing research and diligence and trying to find different charts and going through crypto Twitter or going through YouTubers or people like me, whatever it is, we are but one ingredient in your journey. We are every chart you see, every post you read, every influencer you listen to. We are but one ingredient in your journey. It's your job, it's your responsibility to make that ingredient into a profitable, delicious dish of profits in your portfolio. So in this case, let's see what he says. Bitcoin percent of futures contracts being margined with crypto has seen a sharp decline. Okay, what the heck does that mean? Well, this should allow for more sustainable price appreciation as the risk of declining collateral value during downturns reduces, which means you have to understand, sometimes when you're looking at this market, and let's go, we're on the daily, let's go down to like the 8 hour. We can see this fairly vicious move up, and we can also see a fairly vicious move down we had here. Well, why was this? Did people really just say, oh, I want out and get out? And did people here say, I want to get it? That's not what happens. That's not how the markets work. There are financial tools, there are derivatives, there are options. There's a number of tools in these global markets that allow people to basically leverage margin, basically trade on an exponential value is the simplest way to say it. There's a lot more to it, but we get it. We can get into that in other videos. So essentially, there's people that have gone long here at some point in this level, quite a bit of people, and their longs have, especially if they're leveraged, options have it as well, but especially if they're leveraged or margined, say you're trading $1,000 on 10x, so that's 10x leverage. Well, that means that you have a liquidation price where if the price gets pushed near that liquidation price, people can start to sell their assets so their collateral doesn't get liquidated, or they're not smart. Like I was not smart early on. I lost $70,000 in leverage trading in a week of doing it. And I had to learn, and I don't want you all to have that mistake. But understanding this helps you understand these market moves. Has anybody, let's go ahead and throw out a little bit of sort of encouragement to everybody here in the space. If you've lost more, you don't have to say how much. We don't need to say that. If you've lost any amount of money in a trade, more than you're comfortable with. Let's say if you've lost more than $1,000 on any trade, did you give up or are you still here? I just want people to realize everybody loses money. The skill is how quick do you get back on the horse? How well do you sharpen your sword? And how do you adjust your plan of attack, your strategy, so that you can prevent those losses, you can mitigate them, and then you can get above that 51% win rate. I like to be somewhere in the 65, 60. I don't really like 65, but 65 to 70% win rate means my strategy and my predictions and my probabilities and the way I'm reading a chart is pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good win rate. But when I lose, am I losing money? No, I'm losing a specified, when I'm losing money in the market, I'm losing a specified amount that I allocate of a comfort level that I'm okay with losing on any given trade. I never lose more than 3% on a trade when I'm trading. If I, right now, for instance, with the market being at a sort of, this accumulation stage that we're in right here, as we can see, I think we're somewhere in this region here. I'm not leverage trading because I'm waiting for this breakout to be confirmed, which is breaking out, coming back and testing. Now, this is a little bit choppy right here because we can see, can we consider this a breakout and retest? Maybe. I can't really fully count this yet because this is retesting it and hanging out in the same region. So the point here is you need to allocate and come up with your risk tolerance, your risk exposure, your time horizon, all these things, your plan of attack for every trade. So when you do lose a trade, you're not losing a huge amount of your capital. It's a controlled amount, and that way, when every trade that you're making is working towards building your profits, not just making you kamikaze trade, as CryptoFace calls it, which a lot of early traders, a lot of younger traders, a lot of less experienced traders do. You make a huge loss, so you up the leverage, and then you make another trade and you lose all of it. Let's not do that crap anymore, okay? So back to what we're talking about here. This is due to that. This is people getting liquidated, and then there's further liquidations lower and lower down. And then what happens? Then you get a rollover of sentiment, and then people actually start adding fuel to the fire by actually going short. So you get people getting liquidated. That's where you get these very, very quick candles to the downside, and then people actually seeing that momentum, and then they run with it. And then the problem with that is people catch these falling knives and they go, well, I'm going to go short, and they do it right here, and the market rebounds. They get liquidated that way as well. Don't participate in that. Wait until the market is in a confirmed trend. The trend is your friend until it ends. technically right now we're still in a downtrend. So I am adding to my longs. I'm an aggressive trader, but I'm doing it on spot, and I'm trading in a calculated way to where I do want to catch these moves low, but I'm not going to do it on leverage. I'm waiting for this retest back to the downside. I'm waiting for this retest back to the downside, and then once we break this level here, which is this is where you see is the safest entry. This, for me, once we break that level there, that's on the rest of this uptrend. That's when I start looking for my calculated leverage positions, because I can understand the trend that I'm in and I can work with that. When we're in this choppy market where we haven't even defined a bullish trend, then we got to be a little more patient. So let's continue on here. Little lesson within the lessons here. Shout out to everybody in chat. If you haven't yet, definitely please hit that like button. Ting that bell, hit the subscribe button. We're building a great community here. It's all about encouragement. It's all about bringing you all along, helping you learn from our mistakes, helping you learn the experience that we have. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to continue on here. All righty. So let's look at this. I just deleted one of my things. Okay, doesn't matter. So we have now, this is another great chart, exchange net position change. What is this? Well, this is how much, in this case, Bitcoin. We always want to look at the entire chart. No matter how many times you've seen stuff, make sure you're understanding the data you're looking at. We see our key right here, and we can see these basically when these waves are red to the downside, it's showing that there's Bitcoin coming out of exchange. Well, what does it mean if Bitcoin is out of exchange? It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't sell it. You can still do peer-to-peer, but large in part, if coins aren't on exchange, that means these people are not preparing to sell anytime soon. They're putting them in cold storage. They're putting them in their private wallets. They're putting them out of access to immediately trade on an exchange. Yes, they can quickly put them back on, but this is showing you a gauge of market sentiment in some capacity that people are trying to take them off exchange. Now, one of the things I do want to point out here with the cascading liquidations, the insolvencies, all these things that have happened in 2022, basically all of 2022 with FTX, Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, Three Arrows Capital, so much. What was that? Bits Lotto, never heard of it, but these things happen. And so it has also made people take more off exchange than just the sentiment of them thinking there's a bottom. So you do need to take that caveat. But despite any of the sentiment thoughts around this does mean that there's more illiquid supply. Well, what is illiquid supply? It means supply of Bitcoin that are out there that are not able to easily be transacted because they're in private storage, cold storage. So this is incredibly bullish. We can see this sort of flip right here where people are still putting on exchange because they're selling here near the top. People are putting on exchange to sell. Smarter traders are selling into profits here because they're putting stuff onto exchange to sell, also short-term holders. And then we can see here, this is massive sort of supply shock that's coming into the market, meaning there's less Bitcoin available on exchanges. And if there's less Bitcoin, if I have one diamond and I give you a diamond, dope, stoked, you can sell it. If I give you 10,000 diamonds, each one of those diamonds is now going to be worth less because it's going to take you more work to sell it. They're too readily available. It's the supply dynamics that you need to understand in the market. So let's continue moving on through this. Now, this is something I really want to sort of focus on for a second, because I talked earlier about that dry powder, having that capital available, ready and waiting to be either to be deployed into the market. Now, what I want you to see here is you see this stablecoin dominance. This is the percentage of the market that is stablecoin, meaning not in crypto, in stablecoin. Now, this is a crypto market cap. Now, what I want you to notice is look at how inverted this is. This is all, it's not an exact mirror, but the general moves, look at this massive drawback during the pandemic, March 2020. Look at this massive increase. Okay, massive increase here. As this starts pulling back, this means capital is being deployed back into crypto, and look at what happens to the price. Same thing here. This pulls back. Stablecoins go up because money's coming out of the market into stablecoins. And then when this peaks and starts rolling over, money's going back into crypto. Well, look at where we're at right here. And this is also in relation to the Dixie. What's the Dixie? The dollar index. The dollar, the U.S. The world reserve currency is still currently the dollar, and this is weighed against a basket of other major currencies. I think the great GBP, the pound in the UK, the yen, the euro. There's several different currencies that this is weighed against, and we can see that this also has almost, not quite, but almost an inverse relation to price for Bitcoin in crypto as well. But these two things combined, we can see that the supply was increasing of stablecoins. People are coming out of the market, protecting their capital, building dry powder. This is kind of primed right here. We're just now breaking this trend line right here on the stablecoin dominance, and this is starting to break down coinciding with the price starting to go up, potentially maybe a sort of a midterm sort of bull market that we could be entering, and that's what we're focused on right now. We can also see the stablecoin RSI. This has broken its trend, similar to this breaking its speculative price trend here. Or actually, this would be a percentage value trend. The Dixie RSI also breaking down. All these things symbolizing likelihood of excitement and attention back into the crypto market. Now, how's everybody doing? How you feeling? Well, one of the things we've got to do as we go, if you haven't yet, please make sure, head over to BitLab Academy website. And the reason I say that is because we're about to do a giveaway. We're going to be giving away 5 today, 3 on the stream, and the last 2 I'm going to be doing on the BitBoy crypto stream after this. But we're giving 5 lifetime memberships away to BitLab Academy courses, which is, I mean, quite a good value in terms of what you're getting with that. But this is, you can still enter to win. There's going to be giveaways each month, so make sure you do that. So let's go ahead and do one of the giveaways right now. I'm going to go right here to this screen, which is, I mean, quite a good value. Because I don't want you, as you can see on the right here, getting with that. I don't want you to be able to see the actual email addresses of the people that are in here. So there's going to be giveaways each month, so make sure you do that. And do that. So let's go ahead and do one of the giveaways right now. I'm going to go right and 34, which is, I mean, quite a good value. Because I don't want you, as you can see on the right here, getting with that. I don't want you to be able to see the actual you can still enter to win. But if you're going to be giveaways each month, so make sure you do that. Help do that. So let's go ahead and do one of the giveaways right now. Bam. I'm going to go right and 34, the second one, which is quite a good value. Because I don't want you, as you can see on the right here, getting with that. I don't want you to, but this is, you can still enter to win. But if you're going to be giveaways each month, so make sure you do that. So let's go ahead and do one of the giveaways. Right back into it. Right now. We're all about building the community here, giving things away, bringing you guys along on our journey. So jump right back into the charts. Thank you guys for being here. It's wonderful to build this community together. So, what are these signals that we're looking for beyond the traditional markets? Well, we looked at a huge amount of sentiment coming into the market. The stablecoin dry powder starting to get redeployed back into the market. Now, let's go. What do we need to do before we do anything when we approach a chart? We need to do 3-cycle strategy. We need to look at our macro, look at our monthly or weekly. I like to start with the weekly. And then go to our midterm, the daily, 12-hour daily, and then go to our local or our micro, which is a 4-hour and below. So we're going to start here looking at the weekly, and we're going to go ahead and delete some of these lines. Okay, doesn't matter. Now go back to the weekly, and we can see here, just so you all know, this vertical line right here is essentially where the estimated time of the next Bitcoin halving is. And this is excellent to know because, and I pointed this out yesterday's stream, is understanding where the halving is. It helps you, gives you a great guide as to where we are in the market cycle. Because as we can see, on this chart isn't a very expanded chart, but we can see the breakdown. We have an interim sort of bull run, pullback, reset to the parabola. So what I'm looking for here is a similar sort of pathway somewhere in this region, back down, and then, you know, up to our next all-time highs. And all we can do is see how the market plays out. So we can take it one step at a time, okay? We can take it one step at a time and make sure that we're looking at all the data we can. So we're here on the macro. We can see this is a BitLab trading. This is a BitLab trading suite, which you can find also at bitlabacademy.com. Come over here to indicators. We've got some really great stuff here. Some of the best minds in the space. You know, I worked with along with Frankie Candles, along with a massive multi-hundred million dollar hedge fund trader, pulling the signals that matter most in the markets. And so we can see right here the hidden volume. We can see these R's and H's on the top are bearish, on the bottom are bullish. We're seeing this sort of cascading sort of bullish volume divergence, bullish volume divergence. And we can also see this blue floor right here on the significant movement. This is BitLab significant movement. All of these are part of the same BitLab trading stack. This suggests that this was likely a local floor. And we've gotten good movement off that. So let's actually go down to the 3-day, see if we see anything. Okay, we're seeing a little overheated here on the significant movement on BitLab, on the BitLab significant movement on Bitcoin. So now let's come down to the 12-hour. Okay, now look at this. Now we're seeing some bearish volume divergences right here in this basically local top-ish area that we may be in, even though we're testing this massive downtrend of support. We're trying to flip it, but we also saw a orange, red local trend top. But what I want you to notice here is the nuance here. This was orange, this push up, meaning what this is reading is stochastics, momentum, RSI, and it's saying when there's a confluence of multiple signals over multiple time frames, saying that this is in this case, very overbought territory. And the higher it gets, the more sort of excessive that is. But what we can see here, and this kind of makes sense because we're getting these large cascading buys. But this flipped gray, meaning that the signal was resetting. It was getting back all the signals, the momentum, the stochastics, RSI, all these things. We're getting back more to a middle range, meaning if this is a bullish move, we have now fuel to the upside. And we can see right here on the relative extrema that this poked out to the downside outside of this cloud. What do I mean by that? Well, we have this cloud, and when these bars are outside of this cloud, this is downward pressure if these are outside the cloud. This being on the other side of this cloud and out of it, this is like I said, it's like a rubber band being pulled to snap back up, okay? And what happens right here when this pulls down and this flips gray? It gives us pressure to move back to the upside. And in this case, we don't have any bullish or bearish volume divergences here, but we're getting these signals here as well as this finding support on this previous price action here. So what we want to do where we're at now is look, this is flipped off from red. This is back to being gray. And we are getting a little bit of bearish divergence on the volume. So what do? We up our resolution. We go to a smaller time frame so we can get a clearer picture of what's going on. We see the macro is supporting bullish movement. As we get smaller time frames, it's looking a little choppy. So let's divide this down from 12-hour, more resolution. Let's go down to the 4-hour. All right. Now look at this choppiness. Blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Let's go ahead. I'm going to turn this back on so the volume comes back. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now what we can see here, blue, red, blue, red, blue. This is now we're going to get a little more clarity because this isn't super clear. But we are seeing some bearish RSI, some bearish. I'm going to double click on this so you guys can see what these divergences are. If they are on the top, this is pressure to the downside. These are on the bottom. This is pressure to the upside. And these flags tell you what that pressure is. In this case, we had bullish RSI divergence. Now we have bearish relative extrema, which is this signal here, all in the BitLab trading stack. But essentially what I'm seeing here is choppiness. But we are riding on this ribbon, this colorful ribbon. This ribbon is suggesting it's the EMA ribbon. And as this color changes, it means that the data points and the pressures that are establish that trend that we were in. Every time this color changes, meaning that those data points are changing. So this turned to green when we went sideways, but this is starting to fade. So I'm looking for a little bit of a move here, looking just here at this 4-hour. This, unfortunately, is red. This is a bit choppy, but the macro is suggesting still a bullish push is brewing. But we have to realize when we understand the macro, midterm, and micro, that within those macro moves, we could still have small pullbacks. We could still pull back to these levels here, which I've marked out. These are various previous price action and Fibonacci retracements. But let's get a little more clarity. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Alrighty, this is we got some fairly healthy sideways action here. There's both bullish and bearish divergences here. It seems to me, and I mentioned this yesterday as well, it seems to me like there's a bit of a, I don't want to say a struggle, but there's a bit of a hesitation within the markets that has to do with all of the weight of everything that's happening tomorrow. Now, today, I'm not sure what time it happens, probably soon. Today, I believe there's about a huge amount of options that are expiring today. And I forgot to look up the metric before we started, and they should be expiring shortly because I think they expire around 11 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken. And that could cause, when that pressure is off the market, that could cause a little bit of an uptick here. But what we were looking at when we looked at the weekly, we have some bullish sentiment with a little bit of a need of a cool off because we see this out of the cloud coming down to the 12 hour. This is looking like it's trying to reset. And I want to point something out to all of you here. If we come back to BitLab Academy, if we come back to BitLab Academy and we look at this thumbnail, I want you to understand something. This is what I'm looking at. Is although I'm seeing some small signs within the charts that we may need a little bit of a cool off period, that we may need to pull back a little bit, that's okay. That is still inherently bullish, especially when we have macro bullish signals showing support with all this various support below us. If we have a small pullback here and we fully establish a higher low, meaning what's a higher low? Well, we have our low here. If we pull back anywhere in this region, really, but I would say, especially if we hold this level here, which is roughly $17,800. I don't think we're going to go back down there in a pullback. I think it's likely if we do pull back, it'll be probably in the $19,600 range. But as you see these levels, I have levels set in all these areas. I'm more excited the lower it goes because I get better entries. But I think 19.6 is probably an area that we might get some sort of washout, maybe over the weekend, maybe early next week. And then sort of lift off from there. If we get the pullback, we don't necessarily need to get it. But having that pullback and establishing a higher low will reset every indicator we have. The stochastics will come down, the RSI will come down, the MACD will come down, meaning that once we start getting bullish movement again, if we're having bullish movement, let me go ahead and pull up the MACD, RSI, stochastics. And if you guys haven't yet, see all these different settings I have here. I have my chart customized. I have a longer video within the BitLab YouTube. You can go and watch. But this weekend, I'm putting up it's like a 10-minute video, really quickly going through how to do this and how you can use these quick keys to do your option J lines, option H horizontal bars, option V vertical bars, option F for Fibonacci's. I have a whole video showing you how you can quickly and professionally go through and edit your charts and mark them up. So where we're at right now, if we were just to get a push off, yes, let's go actually to the daily. We can see that the RSI, which is a relative strength index, is up here all the way at the top. We're getting a little bit of bearish divergence, and it's up in this, people like to think of it as an overbought territory. Realistically, RSI is strength. So this is actually showing strength. This is showing relative strength, not necessarily overbought. But this lower high, how we can see on this, how this has a lower high on these 2 points. I talked about it yesterday as well. These are higher highs on price, which is a bearish indication because there's less strength at this higher level. But my whole point about this is if we were to take off from here, just boom, stochastics are pretty high. RSI is pretty high. MACD is still kind of, if this were in terms relative to previous price action, this is high in relationship to this small amount of volatility that we've had. So there's not a lot of fuel for this run if we go from here. The most bullish thing we can get right now is to either go sideways, that's super boring, and have the MACD, have the RSI, have the stochastics, pull back a little bit, have these come back, specifically with RSI, hold above this 50 line, roughly right here, option H for a line, because inherently above this is bullish. Below it, you're actually building more of a bearish trend. Stochastics, we would want the stochastics to come all the way, if we can, get them all the way back down here. Even if it's sideways to do that, or if this comes down and tests anything down here and all of these things reset, then you have a fully fueled car to make that run, and you have stamina to do so because you can build into it, and there's plenty of room to run before other technical traders start seeing these signals being overbought or overheated, which that's not how they're actually supposed to be read, but traders and institutions and bots read them that way. And so selling pressure starts to come into the market to take advantage of that being overheated so they can bring the market back down. So we want these things to reset. It doesn't have to happen, but that's what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and check in with chat real quick. How's everybody doing? We got a good number of viewers here today. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ting that bell. My name's Kelly Kellen, by the way. If this is the first time checking me out, welcome. Happy to have you here. I run the BitLab Academy here at Hit Network. So definitely, if you haven't gone over to BitLab Academy, check it out. Definitely follow all these socials here. We're also, if you guys don't know, we have a 24/7 crypto streaming channel called Hit Network. So check that out. This might be being streamed on there. If you're watching it there, definitely come check out BitLab Academy. But I saw you guys posted some stuff earlier. I saw you guys. Am I getting echo? Somebody said there's echo. I hope there's not echo. Shoot. Let me see. Is there a double mic on? Let's see if that works. How's the echo now? I don't know what happened. It's all good. Okay, tell me if there's echo when I share my screen. I apologize for that. I just saw that. I don't know where that came from. Nothing changed on my end. But let's go ahead and do that other giveaway. We have one more giveaway that we're doing on this show. We're going to do another 2 on the BitLab on BitBoy Crypto later. So let's go ahead over to. Tell me if there's echo when I share my screen. I apologize for that. I just got one more to saw that. I don't know where that came from. Nothing changed on my end. I'm going to be doing TA over on BitBoy Crypto. Let's go ahead and do that other giveaway. 2 are going to be done. We have one more giveaway that we're doing on this show. We're going to do another 2 on the BitLab on BitBoy Crypto later. DD19. So let's go ahead over to. Tell me if there's echo when I share my screen. I apologize for screenshots of each one of these. I don't know where that came from. Nothing changed on my end. I'm so happy to be doing this and get everybody. Let's go ahead and do that other giveaway. 2 are going to be done. We have one more giveaway that we're doing on this show. It's such a pleasure to really bring information and tools and resources to all you, everybody. Yes, echo now. Oh, is it echo? I don't know what the echo's from. The echo is a giveaway, huh? Let me see. Everybody. Yes, echo now. Oh, is it echo? Oh, there it is. Is that better? Check, check, check. Chicken China, the Chinese chicken. That should be better. For whatever reason, the screen was... all right. Sorry about that, everybody. All right, let's go. We're going to do a little power hour. It's 11:23. Go ahead. Throw in 2 of your favorite alts. I'm going to do some power hour, really quick 2-minute technicals, a breakdown, see some levels, see some things that's going on in the charts. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to pull up my charts. We haven't done AVAX. Let's go ahead and do AVAX. And I'm going to go to a naked chart. It's naked, baby. All right. So we're going to do a very quick, let's go to the correct screen. I hope there's no echo. All right. Correct screen. All right. Let's see. AVAX. We're going to go from this top here. Option V for the horizontal ray. This comes up. I hate that. I hate that brush. We're going to do option J here as well. This also is going to come all the way here. Now this is a level here, option J. This is bottoms and tops we're doing. Now we can do option F or Alt if you're on PC from the top. to the bottom. We're looking at this target here, the 23. This 23 zone is really what I'm looking for. We're going to find a little bit of resistance here at about $20 because this is the previous local high right in this region right here. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of a pullback. I'm just doing very basic TA on this. So we can go from the bottom now to the top. That's option F for the Fibonacci, bottom to the top. And so we could be seeing a pullback down to this 382 level, which we already sort of tapped here, which is 15,465. But then I want you to notice this golden pocket, which is a 0.618 on the Fibonacci, 0.618, 0.65. This is also in line with this sort of region of price action right here. We can see. So this is a level, this is a pretty strong level. If we do pull back, I'm looking for anywhere from 13.4 to 13.6 for AVAX. In terms of a target, then I would actually, we could do this full pull, but I'm just going to go here to be a little more conservative. And we can go up like this and see what a good target above us is. This is right at the 786. This is $26. So I'm looking, the targets I'm looking at for AVAX, if it pulls back, is $13.40 at the low. If we do break out to the upside, we're going to see a little bit of a pause at $20.20, and then if we're also going to see a little bit of a pause right here at $23. But if we're able to make it through that and the Bitcoin market starts pumping, we could get all the way on this target, here up to around $26. Now I saw somebody write Casper, so let's go ahead and do, I'm going to make this small. We're going to go do Casper really quick. Casper. Let's do KuCoin. Never even looked at Casper on a chart. So we're going to do top, option J. This is a horizontal ray. We're going to do a top right here, option J. We're going to do a bottom just to have a bottom marked out. We're going to do a little bit of a region right here. I'm not doing the wicks because it seems like there's a lot more interactivity at this level. And this peak here we can do just because there's price action right here. Look at that. Bounced right off this level, which is previous levels that's been interactivity. So now we can do option F for our Fibonacci down to the bottom. Look at that. This price action bounced up, got rejected right at this golden pocket. So had you mapped this out, you could have taken profits there or taken a short. Now coming back from where we're at here, option F. So just on this move alone, what am I doing with this move? I'll show you. Just on this move alone, because this was a high and it pulled back, this is already broken through this golden pocket, so we need to see a little bit of conviction here. RSIs are pointed up. MACD looks like it's crossed red, but it's actually trying to roll back over, as we can see. So this is actually very bullish that this dipped back in. This dipped back into the below the zero line and is coming back up rather quickly. And this is also holding, look at this, bounced right at basically the 50 line. You see that? And I'm looking over here where my cursor crosshairs go. So Casper, I'm looking at, we need to break these levels, this 39 cents. 39 cents, that would be a good level. Basically 4 cents, we need to get above 4 cents. I'm still looking at a little bit of a little bit of weakness here, maybe rejection, and then retesting this sort of Fibonacci this Fibonacci golden pocket before we have liftoff. So the entry was down here. The entry was down here when this was rolling over. How would you know it was an entry? If we're on the daily, we're on the daily. Let's go down to the smaller time frame, 4 hours. Well, we can see that there was a W formed here. Also, when this rejected, when this came back down, this symbol right here suggested that this was a likely reversal point and the trend was going to reverse. So once this candle closed and we broke above it, my entry would have been about right here because we're breaking above, the signals are reset. This would have been my entry to ride this up. Now what I'd be doing is looking for a pullback on this to get an entry or to break 4 cents and look for where the pullback is from there, and that would be my entry. Let's see, H bar. Let's do a little H bar. We got 1 minute left, and we're going to be rolling out over to, this is actually going to send you to the 24/7 hit network, which also is going to be streaming BitBoy live as well. H bar. Okay, now what do we do? Macro, midterm, micro. We're going to do super fast here. A macro, midterm, micro. So we got option J, option J, option J. We're getting these bars here. Dropping bars, son. Option J. Now we're doing, okay, option F for Fibonacci. Now we're going to, I don't want that. Boom. Option F for Fibonacci. Select option F. There we go. To the bottom. So look at this, these price levels. If you see here, you mother, these levels right here, right at this previous price action top is a critical level here. We have a huge gap here for some reason, but what I'm looking at here, let's do one more Fibonacci, option F from here to the bottom. Let's drag it. So I'm looking at, there's not a lot of resistance in the way right now above H bar, but what we can do is do option T for a trend line. It looks like this sort of region here is going to be ripe for a little bit of a rejection. We also have a descending wedge I can see right here. It's almost a channel, but it's more of a wedge. So I'm looking for, unless the market just starts ripping, I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback. Where's the pullback going to be? Option F. Let's go from the bottom to the top. Now we can zoom in, go auto, and we can see I'm looking for a pullback. If this does push all the way up, somewhere in the $1.34 to $1.35-ish region for a pullback there. But that's what I'm seeing on the charts. We went through quite a bit of altcoins at the end. Make sure you go and check out bitlabacademy.com because we want to make sure that you get in on this sort of this newsletter we do every week, as well as be entered to be part of these giveaways. Big love to everybody. I really appreciate y'all. I hope you all hit that like button on the way out. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. Really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, ting that bell, and we will see you in the next video. Again, my name is Kelly Kellum. Thank you for being here with us, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Adios, muchachos. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for watching. Use that data to go and make some trades if they are making profit. Bing bong.